Hey guys, so we're gonna go ahead and have another dialogue here between these two characters, and I hope you enjoy this. Hey man, it's been a while since we talked last. It's been a few weeks since we had that really long conversation. I just wanted to say, man, I really did appreciate you giving me your time and your attention that day. Um, I know we talked about a lot, but I just wanted to see how you're doing, man. Just wanted to see how everything's going, and I wanted to see if you've had any other questions or any other thoughts about this. Yeah, man, you actually did cover a lot during that conversation, and I mean, some of it's been kind of making some sense, some of it's not been making some sense. I'm pretty busy myself as it is, so I haven't exactly had much time to go over every little detail that you were talking about that day. But I mean, I guess it's making some sense, man. I don't know. I'm just still kind of coasting, if that makes some sense. I mean, you know what, man? I mean, it does. It actually does make a lot of sense. I mean, I'm pretty busy myself. I've got a lot of obligations that I got to deal with. I've got a lot of responsibilities that I'm trying to take care of. And, I would also say that, you know, I've got things I'm trying to get done too, right? I've got 24 hours in a day. There's certain things that have to get done. And then there's things that I choose to put time towards, right? You know, Believe it or not every hour of my day is roped up into this either. I've got hobbies and interests outside of this too. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good to know, man. I mean, I think part of it was I just wasn't sure like how much of my time this was supposed to take or how much of my day this was supposed to take. I think a lot of it was kind of foggy in the air, if that makes sense. Not too sure how far I'm supposed to go, how long it's going to take, things of that sort. I mean, I've only got so much time left as it is, and I also want to make sure that my time is well spent as well. And you know what, man? I think that's great. I really do. I think it's great that you've got your time in your hands and you're trying to make sure that you're spending your time the way you want to spend it. I think that's great, man. Regardless of the conversation we had last week, that's a good thing. Um, but I mean, with that being said, I mean, was there anything specifically about our conversation that was not making sense? Was there anything you wanted me to tidy up? Yeah, man. I mean, man, I'm gonna break it down just like this, okay? So you got to understand, like I said, I'm part of Group A, and we're doing a lot of stuff, and I'm not fully convinced that Group A is all that bad, and I'm not thoroughly convinced I'm all that bad, and I'm not even convinced that I should be listening to you. But I mean, since you're giving me your time, I'll take it. I mean, what am I supposed to replace Group A with? And when I say that, like, what I'm getting at is, there's a lot in my life that I get from Group A, okay? Like, you got to understand, like, these were the first people that I ran into that just gave a fuck. Like, these are the first people that actually just looked at me as a human being, and they ended up just basically treating me like a man and giving me some advice, giving me some pointers. Like, I didn't remember none of that growing up, man. Like, honestly, all I remember was fucking screaming. All I remember was shit breaking. All I remember was shit being thrown across the room. Like, I honestly do not remember any sort of advice from my childhood up until now. Like, these are the first guys I came into that actually started giving a fuck and started giving a damn. And, like, really started helping me, man. You know what, man? I'm not going to dispute any of that, okay? Um, it sounds like you got some useful insight from these guys. And it sounds like you got some meaningful connection and some meaningful conversations from these guys, which I think on a baseline level is good because, we all need people to talk to. We all need people to help us process things. We all need people to help us guide ourselves through things. And again, not going into the beliefs of the group itself, but it sounds like you got some meaningful advice from these guys. It sounds like they helped you with some things. Can you maybe point to like one or two examples that was really impactful for you that you got from them? Man, I'm gonna be real, man. Man, they just taught me how to be an adult to an extent, bro. Like, man, I was a mess before I met these guys, and I was just laid up in my room 24/7. I had garbage laying all over the floor, clothes laying all over the place. And anytime anyone told me to pick up my shit or move my shit, I would just explode. Like, I'm talking no holding back. And I don't even know why I was doing any of that shit, man. I was just so fucking angry. And anytime I got any fucking pushback, any fucking resistance, I'd just fucking snap, man. And fuck, man. I mean, looking back, I didn't like living like that, but that's all I really saw at the time, and I didn't have no one trying to fucking help me. Like, nobody in my fucking life, nobody in my house was trying to tell me, saying, hey, man, here's how you pick up your garbage. Hey, man, here's how you do your laundry. Like, nobody was doing none of that for me, bro. Like, nobody. And I came into these guys, and they pulled me in, and they started giving me some shit like that, you know? Like, hey, man, get the garbage put together. Get that shit outside. Get your fucking clothes in the wash. Get them folded. Like, these were the first people that ever told me that, man. And I don't know, like, I don't know, man. Like, part of me feels like these people got my back because they're helping me live a more successful life. You feel me? You know what, man? I do. I actually really do. I am very familiar and I'm very aware with how it feels to not have basic life skills, to not have basic functions and abilities that one needs to be a successful human being, for lack of a better term. Maybe not even successful human being, maybe just something just so that you can function without it being total chaos. I know what it's like to not have that advice. I know what it's like to not have that perspective. I mean, my upbringing was very similar also. Was I didn't remember not much feedback. And the feedback I did get, there wasn't anything to it. It was just screaming also. They would just scream at the problem. Which, looking back at it, the people that were raising me, that was the decision that they made. That's how they decided to adjust. That's how they decided to correct, was by simply screaming. And I mean, I'm not going to say that they were right or wrong. I'm not going to go into that part of the equation. But I mean, what I will say is that me as the person at that time, the teenager, the child, I wasn't walking away with any skills that were helping me solve the problem. All I was seeing was screaming. All I was seeing was anger. And nothing was actually getting fixed. Nothing was actually getting picked up. Nothing was actually getting carried out. It was still just fucking laying there, but I had a fucking person yelling at me. So I know what that's like, man. And that's a frustrating place to be in. Because deep down inside, you think to yourself, man, there's got to be a better way to go about this, but you just don't know where. And I think in the modern era, we do got some more resources on our hands. You can look up some YouTube videos or some Winky Hows, right? Or maybe do some AI searches to figure out how to do your laundry, how to do the clothes, how to do the dishes. Like, I think there's a lot more resources today, but I vividly remember like being a younger person and I not knowing those resources existed, even if they did exist. I fucking didn't find them. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know exactly how that feels. What I would say to that is, you as a person, you were going through that. Is that your family of origin was not giving you the skills. They were not giving you lessons that you needed to be a successful human being, a functioning human being. So I think it's only natural that you would seek out those answers. You would find someone that would say, clean your room. You would find someone that would say, stand up straight with your shoulders back. You would find someone that would say those things, right? You would say, walk with some confidence. They're trying to help you build your esteem of yourself, right? I think it's natural to want to find that. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I actually did find voices like that. I found voices like that in a lot of different avenues. Some of them were not so good, some of them were a lot better than others. But, I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is, let's just say for conversation that these guys that you're rolling with, they're basically helping you do some basic stuff like taking out the trash, doing the laundry, managing your money. They're helping you with some basic life skills. Would you say that that knowledge is limited to this group? Like only this group has that information? I mean, I'ma probably say not, but at the same time, I haven't came across anyone else that was trying to help me. So I don't think I really have much of a way to prove that or disprove that, to be honest with you, because I mean, like I said, no one was giving a fuck, and these guys started giving a fuck, and all that other shit that you were talking about. I don't know, man. Like when I go on YouTube, all I'm seeing is how these people are out to fucking get me, and how I need to stand with my brothers to defend myself and defend my people. That's all I'm seeing on YouTube. So I don't know what you're talking about. YouTube cleaning videos. I don't know what a Winky How is, bro. Like every time I'm on Google, all I'm seeing is just, all I'm seeing is how we're under attack. So I don't know if only these people got these answers or these answers don't exist outside of that because I'm not seeing them. Man, it sounds like your internet experience rolls around this group that you're a part of. It sounds like when you hit YouTube, when you hit Twitter, when you hit Facebook, when you hit Insta, all you're seeing is content that automatically applies to you, that you automatically agree with. Um, I think that can happen quite a bit. I think that's just the nature of the internet. Is that the internet is going to feed you whatever it thinks you want to see. So like the analogy that I came up with is like if you're on YouTube and every single day you wake up and you watch a video of a red ball bouncing, after a while, your main suggestion feed and your video suggestions are all going to kind of revolve around something bouncing or something red, if that makes sense. Like, if that's literally all you're watching is red balls bouncing. Now, maybe it might branch out and say, okay, well, here's an orange ball bouncing. Does this strike your interest? And maybe if you watch a couple oranges, it might start mixing in some orange. And maybe, for example, if it shows you a yellow ball bouncing, maybe you watch one or two, but you don't watch them again after that. It'll kind of phase them out of your algorithm. But what I'm getting at is like if you could imagine just going to the bookstore, going to the library, and just staying in one section that literally has like only 5 authors. And you don't even know that the other sections of the library exist. You don't know that the other sections of the bookstore exist. You don't know the other sections of the grocery store exist. All you know is just one section and like the 3 brand names that you see in front of you. And what I would just say for you, bro, is that you're going to have to start figuring out if there's different answers out here. You're going to have to figure out if there's different ways to look at things. Is that if you do a simple Google search for how to clean your room for beginners, if you're going to do a simple Google search for how to do the laundry, for complete novices, or if you do a YouTube search for, laundry tutorial or dishwashing tutorial, I guarantee you there's actually going to be stuff on there. And it's not going to be based around this group that you're a part of. It's going to be based around people that just got a genuine passion about educating others, about showing other people how to be successful at a task, how to be efficient at a task. So what I would suggest for you is just to say, look, let me start doing some different Google searches. Let me reclaim my algorithm. Let me reform my algorithm so that it's not automatically going back to Group A and Group B and Group C, but it's actually going to something that I enjoy outside of that. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess so. Man, everything you're just talking about, bro, like, I just can't even see any of this happening, okay? Like, I'm going to just be real with you. Like, I don't see none of this. Okay, look, I'm telling you right now, bro. Before I had Group A, all I remember was fucking screaming. All I remember was yelling. All I remember was getting beat up. All I remember was getting my shit taken, bro. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, that there's some other shit out here. Because I'm not seeing it. I was fucking looking. I'll get my ass fucking jumped every day going to fucking school by the same punk ass kid, bro. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about, that there's all this extra shit. And going to the store and going to the library, man, look, listen, man, I ain't got time for none of that shit, bro. I'm getting what I'm getting and I'm leaving, okay? Like, I ain't got time to be browsing and cruising, you feel me? I got shit I got to do. And I'm telling you that these guys, they were giving me this advice. So what the fuck are you getting at, man? Bro, what I'm getting at is that your family of origin was not equipping you to have these life skills. Your family of origin was not equipping you to give you these skills to manage yourself, to manage your emotions, to manage your thoughts, to manage your surroundings. It sounds like you were just basically living in a state of constant fear or in a state of constant crisis. Okay? And I don't know who you were rolling with. I don't know who you were hanging with back in the day, but it sounds like those people didn't have any better answers either. Or maybe you just weren't ready to hear them. I don't know exactly. But what I'm telling you, man, is that what you're going through is actually very common. Is that groups like Group A, they find people that did not get good upbringings. They find people that did not have good families of origin. They find people that have social deficiencies, that have self-care deficiencies, that have hygiene issues, that have motivation issues. They find people that are, for lack of a better term, behind the power curve. They're already a couple laps behind. You know, people that should have already been at a certain point and they didn't make it. They find people like that and they give some genuine, honest advice that can technically come from anyone. But they find you, the person that doesn't have these social skills, that doesn't have these emotional skills, that doesn't have these hygiene skills, whatever the case may be. They find guys like you and they give you some honest, good advice. That's actually how they start the equation. Because they're going to see that this guy don't know how to take care of himself. Let's give him some honestly good advice. And he's going to realize, oh, wow, this actually works. This actually helps. Let me keep listening to these guys. And that's when they start spoon feeding you the other shit. They start spoon feeding you about how Group A is superior. They start spoon feeding you about how Group C is after us. And about like how Group B just needs to be eliminated. Okay? So they don't start off with the whole us versus them. These guys know exactly what they're doing. They start the equation with some honestly good advice. And you as a human being, you naturally feel grateful for that because like, wow, this is actually helping. I'm able to take out my garbage. I'm able to manage my money. This is cool. You're naturally thankful for that. And you're going to keep listening to these guys. You're going to keep showing up for this. And that's when they know they got you. So what I'm getting at, man, is that what you went through actually happens a lot. There's a lot of us that did not have many good life skills, that did not have good social skills, that did not have good families of origin. And then we run into some psychos on the internet or some psychos on the corner that take advantage of that, and they take advantage of us. And then we start playing into their hands. We start bringing about their plans. Not our plans, their plans. So that's what I'm getting at, man. Bro, okay, look, man. I can tell you think you got this all figured out. Like, I can see that. I really do. And like I said, I don't know about all that extra other shit, man. Because these people were fucking helping me. And I'm still going to be helping them, man. Because at the end of the day, these are the guys that gave a fuck. These are the guys that gave me some time of day, okay? So I'm not going to just be able to turn back on them, okay? So, bro, let me ask you this. So these guys that you're rolling with Group A, right? let's just say down the road that these guys do come up with a plan or a strategy and they want you to be a part of it, but it's going to end up in you either in the ground or it's going to end up with you in jail. Okay? Those are going to be the two outcomes. And they look up to you, they talk to you, and they're saying, hey, bro, we need you to do this. Now's the time. Okay? They're going to do something like that. And you know for a fact you're either going to end up in the ground or end up in a jail cell. Is that worth the little advice that they gave you? Seriously. Are you willing to throw your own life away just because these guys showed you how to take out the goddamn trash? Is that really worth it? Are you willing to sacrifice your own well-being just because these guys gave a damn? Because if you can say that, yes, they gave me good advice, but no, I'm not throwing away my life, I'm not throwing away my freedom, then that means that the advice they gave you does not override the other bullshit that they're talking about. Is that kind of making sense? Man, okay, first of all, you don't even get what we're about, okay? So I can already tell that. So look, here's the deal, bro. When you're saying that they asked me to throw my life away, I'm saying I'm doing that for my brothers. I'm doing that for my people. These are the people that cared about me. Okay, so don't know what the hell you're talking about with that extra shit. Okay, let's have a hypothetical here. Let's have a hypothetical. Let's say that you run into a new group of guys. Let's say you run into a new group of potential friends. And these guys are giving you the same exact advice. They're saying, hey, take care of yourself. They're saying, give a damn about yourself. They're saying, find your value, find your autonomy. Let's say you find that group of people. But they got nothing to do with the extra stuff of Group A. Like, these group of people literally just want you to be happy and healthy. They don't want you to be on no crusade or holy war or any of that shit. What if you run into that group of people? The people that simply want you to be happy. The people that simply want you to be healthy. They don't want you throwing nothing away. At least nothing good. They don't want you throwing your life away. They don't want you throwing your freedom away. They just want you to be happy and healthy. And they probably got some better advice too, beyond just taking out the trash. They might actually have some root cause analysis that can probably help you not have so much trash in the first place. If that group of people existed, would you say that maybe I'm going to roll with these guys instead of rolling with the other guys? I mean, yeah, I guess so. Haven't ran into them, but yeah, I guess I would. So look, bro, here's what's going to have to happen, okay? You've got to find that second group of people. You've got to find that other group of people that want you to be happy for the sake of you being happy. That they're not trying to make you happy or make you powerful for some other ends or for some other means or some other outcomes. You got to find the people that want you to be powerful for the sake of you being powerful. You got to find the people that want you to be healthy for the sake of you being healthy. Not to sell another course, not to join another Discord, not to sign up for another whatever, not to commit any crazy actions. That the goal is what they're presenting. So you got to understand, these guys that you're rolling with right now, these Group A guys, nothing actually stops where it is. Everything they tell you is leading towards a goal. It's leading towards an objection. It's leading toward an objective. Okay, and the objective is to basically put Group A on top and to shit on everybody else. Okay? That's the objective. There are genuine and sincere people on the internet that will give you advice for the simple fact they want you to be happy and healthy, and it does not go 1 inch further than that. You can find those people, man. And I'd argue the first person you have to find that does that is the new version of you. Or maybe a version of you that's always been there but just never had a chance. So instead of saying, I'm going to take out my trash because I love my brothers and I don't want to disappoint my brothers, if you're saying, I'm getting my clothes washed because I need to be ready for battle, you need to start adjusting the perspective of yourself to say, I'm going to take out my trash because I want to live in a clean environment. I am going to do my laundry because I want to wear clean clothes because I know I'm worth clean clothes. You're going to say, I'm going to manage my money because I want to be able to achieve my financial goals, not save as much as I can and donate it to the group A. So what you're moving towards becomes the outcome itself. It doesn't lead anywhere else. So you've got to get that perspective of yourself started and facilitated and start manifesting that. And then what's going to happen is you're going to start finding people that have that common agreement with you, that have that common perspective. And when you guys start connecting, you guys aren't going to be connecting to prove a point. You're not going to be connecting to move towards some conflict goal. You're going to be connecting because you enjoy each other's company. That they enjoy being around you. You enjoy being around them. They're not pulling you down. You're not pulling them down. You're not pushing them in the wrong direction. They're not pushing you in the wrong direction. You're just simply enjoying each other's time. And maybe you guys do have a common interest, and it's a good common interest. Maybe it turns out you enjoy gardening, and you get together with somebody and you guys talk about gardening once a week. Or maybe it turns out you like building birdhouses, maybe. And you get together once a week with some guys and you start talking about what you did last week. It's not leading towards any political goal or any social goal. It's just them getting together with these guys because we enjoy talking about birdhouses. And maybe you might actually end up becoming friends with one of them. And then that does then morph into not just about birdhouses, but that does actually turn into an actual social relationship where they do start providing good feedback and good perspective. But you got to build that. But the first step in that equation is you got to start viewing yourself as worth goals. You got to view yourself as I'm worth getting better for the sake of getting better, not to prove a point or to hit some objective. That's number one. You got to develop that relationship with yourself, and then you got to find avenues to start finding people. You got to find different hobbies, different interests, where you can start meeting people and talking to people consistently. And then one of those people might actually end up developing a close bond, and they do start enjoying you and you start enjoying them, and you guys start having conversations outside of that social interaction, and you start talking about other things that matter. Might be relationship issues, it might be financial issues, might be, whatever the case may be. Maybe you got a problem at your job. You might start talking about those things to them outside the context of that initial social interaction. So you do, at that point, you've got a better opinion of yourself. You've got a better way to spend your time. You found better people to be around. And you've actually found better people to be around that uplift you instead of moving you towards chaos. Does that sound like anything you'd want to do? Yeah, I mean, I guess. Oh, man, I got to think about this, but I think I get where you're going with this. And this is all still new to me, man. This is all still a lot new stuff going on in my head, and um, I guess I do appreciate you again, man. You took some more time out your day to help me understand something that I don't know, man. Like when we have these conversations, it just seems like some clouds are being removed from my head, or some fog is being lifted from my vision, and I don't exactly know what I'm looking at once the fog's not there no more, but it definitely does seem like some fog's being lifted. So I appreciate you, and I hope next time we can have another good conversation like this. Well, bro, you're very welcome, man. I do appreciate you giving me your time, and I do appreciate you giving me your attention. And if I could offer some parting encouragement, is that what you're going through sounds very natural and very healthy. Is that, as you so eloquently put it, is that the fog is being removed from your eyes. The wool is being pulled from your eyes. And you know for a fact the fog ain't there no more. Now your vision is still adjusting. You don't exactly know what you're looking at when the fog ain't there, but you know for a fact the fog is gone. That to me sounds like you're heading in the right direction, man. And I would highly encourage you to keep going with this, because when you finally get over, you're going to get to a point one day where you're going to realize, wow, I came a far way, right? Or I'm actually past the point of no return, that I ain't going backwards. I'm only going forwards. When you get to that point, it's going to be really special, man. You're going to feel so much better about yourself. You're going to feel so much better about the world. You're not going to wake up every single day with just gut-wrenching agony and just soul-crushing anger. It's so much better once you get to that point, man. So, best of luck, man. And we will have another conversation later, man. See ya.